Mini System Test 21, and I'm New Age Server Alarm. This video took a while to make because I almost never get time to make videos anymore. It's kind of annoying, but I will say I have filmed new System Test 3, so I will be uploading that. And this is Mini System Test 21. Alright, as you can see, I've got a red panel here, and this is an incredibly rare panel. I'm the only collector to have one of these as far as I know, and most people probably have not seen this before. Alright, here it is. This is called a Zanz 400. It's made by Gamewell, or it was made by Gamewell. They no longer make it now. As you can see, it's a modular conventional panel, and as you can see, it looks very similar to the Siemens System 3. However, it's a little bit different. I originally thought these things were Siemens System 3 panels, which were mirrored, because on the System 3, the three lights are on this side. But it turns out it's a completely different panel, so here it is. There. As you can see, it's a modular panel, and there's 4 zones, and there's some cards here. This is actually the main system control card. If I were to pull this out, the system wouldn't work. This is a dual NAC expansion card. Over here is the power supply. There's some gauges here. The thing I never liked about the design of these panels is that you don't know what the LEDs do unless you close the door, or you look at this weird diagram over here. So, and there's some switches here in the corner, such as lamp test, and reset, fire drill, and trouble silence. See? So that's how you turn it on and off. This one's got 4 zones, 1, 2, 3, and 4. The 4th one's actually wired as a trouble zone, not an alarm zone, but the other 3 alarm zones. This is an alarm relay, and the reason why I have this relay here is there is an onboard alarm relay, but in order to make a NAC non-silenceable, you have to send 24-volt power through the onboard relay. So this is connected to something else. You'll see what. So, yeah. Anyway, this is a NAC card down here, and this is hooked up to my Wheelock 7002T. And this is the one that was dirty, and I've cleaned it up and made it look real nice. So, and I got my Gamewell M69 pull station. They're really, really hard to pull one. It's a little bit easier now. I've oiled it a bit. And batteries. So, now here's what's going to be happening. I don't have it right now, but I have the AFP 400, and I have these 2 modules wired to the Gamewell panel. This is a relay module that trips the Gamewell panel, and this is a monitor module which trips the notifier panel when the Gamewell panel activates. As you can see, they're not flashing because I have them disabled. See? Oh, wow, that's hard to see through with the reflection. See, I have them disabled. Anyway, so I'll do that later, though. So I got a Sigcom strobe light here, and these are these super rare strobes. They're huge, too. They're huge. And my Gamewell smoke detector, and I'm still missing the mounting plate, so I have it duct taped. Well, without further ado, I guess here we go. Now, almost. The way you silence these panels, these are kind of weird. A lot of older panels are like this. The way you silence them is you disable the zone that was activated. So, watch. See? You disable the zone that was tripped, and that silences it. Now, when I say disable, it doesn't actually disable the zone in the sense that you'd think. Instead, it isolates it. So if you reset the panel, silence the trouble, and I hit the pull station again, as you can see, the light comes on, but the panel doesn't go into alarm. So it's not actually disabling the zone, it's just isolating it from the panel, which is an old way of doing things. They don't do it that way anymore, though, but they used to. Simplex never did it though. So, there we are. There. So now let's try the smoke detector. Come on. I know this. There we go. So, let's reset that. Yeah. Leave that head down for a bit. This detector has a flaw where if you pull the head down, it doesn't go into trouble. It's weird. So now let's enable the zone on the notifier panel and show the link between the two. So let's press enter, 1, enter the programming password, the change status password I mean. Now let's enable, whoops, sneak peek. So now let's enable that zone, zone 12. See? Press E for enable, enter. And the system's normal. So I got a Spectral Alert Classic here for this. So, let's do this pull station here, which is wired to this module. Okay, this annunciator was installed in a hospital, and as you can see I haven't changed the labels, but Zone 12 down here activated. Zone 12 is the zone that has these two modules on it. And Zone 4 activated, which is the default pull station zone when you use the default configuration on the AFP 400. So, let's reset that. And let's reset the system. There we go, back to normal. So now let's do the link between the two panels, and I'm going to put up the ionization head this time. Hang on. Sorry, it's hard to do when I don't have the base. The mounting plate for the base. There we go. So, now, let's make the game mode panel alarm the notifier panel. What should we do? Let's do the pull again. Ready? As you can see there, I had to isolate both of the zones that were put into alarm in order to silence the panel. So, now that those are isolated, you can reset. Actually, we can't reset this panel yet, because this one's still in alarm. So, we can reset this panel and silence that. As you see, that zone's still in alarm, pull is still activated. So, reset. Now we're back to normal. Just unisolate. There we are. So, one more thing. Let's trip the AFP 400 again. And I'm going to reset it first. This time I'll do the smoke detector. Haven't done the smoke detector in a while. Actually, I got a heat detector here. I'll put a magnet to the heat detector. So what happened here was it activated zones 1, 4, and 12. Now 12 is the Gamewell zone, 4 is the pull station zone, and 4 is the module zone, and 1 is the smoke detector, the detector zone. The reason why I did that, though, is because When this panel alarmed the game mode panel alarmed this one, turning that module on, and that's why module 4 alarmed. Now since module 4 is on zone 12, zone 12 alarmed as well. Or not module 4, I mean zone 4, module... that module is on zone 4 and zone 12. So when the module activated, it activated both zone 4 and zone 12. So, that's what's beeping right there. So, let's reset that. There. And now this panel's back to normal. So, there. Now this panel doesn't have any coding options, unfortunately. Well, it did. They had a March time card that you could plug in, but as you can see, I don't have that. So this panel only does continuous right now. Here's the zone card. Here's the NAC card. You can unplug the card while the system is powered, and then you can do a silent test. So, let's go ahead and plug that card back in. There we are. So, guess that's it. So, that's the Gamewell Zans 400. Very rare conventional panel. Have a great day, everybody. The Zans 400 and the AFP 400.